episode 10 of the Animorphs Read Along broadcast, where we are talking about book 9, The Secret. I just feel like I need to address the fact that obviously the morph on the front of this book should have been a skunk, and it just makes me wonder, like, was the publisher like, no, skunks are lame, like, no kid's gonna want to buy a book with a skunk on it, so they put a wolf on it. But obviously the new morph and the morph that Cassie did the most in this book was the skunk. I think she morphed wolf for like 10 minutes one time, so that's just funny to me. So this is a Cassie book, and like many Cassie books were sort of bogged down by all of these like moral questions. Basically in this book they find out that someone is going to be logging in the forest, and they quickly deduce that these are Yeerks, and they think that the Yeerks are trying to sort of destroy their hiding place and force them out. So the goal of this book is basically to stop the logging. It's sort of this really like on the nose metaphor, like the evil people are cutting down the trees in the forest and destroying animals' habitats. Cassie sort of figures out that in order for this to be happening in a national forest, they must have someone important in their pocket. They should figure out how they got clearance to log in this forest, and that way they can sort of maybe put a stop to it. I think in this book we really see Cassie coming into conflict with the other characters in a big way, and in a more extreme way than we've seen in the past. Cassie is like a hardcore tree hugger, and I mean, she's not doing it for looks or for show. Like, this is who she is at her core, and the rest of the group just does not share her passion. We see her being so concerned. She's like, the destruction of this forest is about more than us, you guys. Like, this is about the animals. And the rest of the group is like, we don't care. We see Cassie's worldview sort of under fire when they turn into termites, and Cassie kills the termite queen in order to like break free of her sort of almost hypnotic hold that she had on them. After she does this, Cassie really has like a crisis. You know, for her, nature is almost like her religion. It's having a really hard time rectifying all of the things that they're doing with the violence of nature and with like what it means to be human. One of my favorite parts about this book is the skunk subplot. Cassie knows there are a couple baby skunks in the woods whose mom has been injured, and she really wants to make sure they're okay. And Tobias ends up being the one who leads her to them because he ate one of them already. And Cassie gets really furious with Tobias. And I mean, I think we are supposed to know that she's being irrational because we're like, yo, fall back. Like, Tobias just was doing what he had to do. For some reason, Cassie felt really protective of these skunk kits. And then there's something really interesting when the entire gang sort of gets involved with making sure that they're not going to get eaten. We see Cassie kind of lose it in this book. After she demorphs from termite, she kind of has a brief little moment, like you can call it a panic attack or a breakdown. And the next morning, obviously, she's still in this really fragile state, and she decides to go find the skunk kits and almost stays in morph for more than 2 hours. I guess one of the themes of this book can be summed up with these questions that Cassie's asking, and she tries to talk to Jake about it, and bless his heart, he tries to sort of be an ear for her, but these are sort of way over his head. But she says, am I a part of nature, so I should just live by the laws of nature, kill to eat, kill or be killed, or am I something different because I'm a human? And later she even says something along the lines of that humans are the ultimate predator, we're at the top of the food chain, maybe Yeerks are just, you know, our turn to get our ass kicked in nature. Maybe this is just the way that nature is supposed to play out. In the end, obviously, they do manage to prevent the logging from happening, thereby saving Axe's home and Tobias's home, and for Cassie, saving the entire forest and saving all the animals. One of the most interesting questions Cassie's asking herself is like, when is it right to kill and when is it not? And for her, that extends to all animals. She understands, of course, that predators eat prey, and that, like, you know, certain animals eat other animals, and is there a difference between, you know, eating a frozen mouse and eating a live mouse? And is there a difference between killing a termite and killing a hork-bajir? What does it all mean? Cassie's a really deep thinker, and for her these questions affect, you know, how she goes about her day. So those are all my thoughts for Animorphs number 9, The Secret. If you want to keep up with this read-along, subscribe to this channel or follow me on Twitter. The next book is book number 10, The Android, Back to Marco. So I will see you on Thursday.